social networking for public policy. Through your handhelds, your PDAs, your cell phone, you can subscribe through your RSS feed, and we will consistently and periodically issue updates that you can get. It's also a way for you to communicate. If you have your handheld, if you have your cell phone out there, you're at one of the levy sites, you see something we should know, we want to know. We can help, you can help us by being force multipliers of our engagement on how we tackle this project. So I'm going to close at this point and we'll launch into the questions, and just close by this. This is a hugely significant and important project. We are in partnership with the City of Oxnard, with all the other cities. We are in partnership with you. We are a countywide district. We work for you. This is critical to get done. We want to be as open and transparent. We want to get this done by November 30th, and we want to get us to not have to think about this for Christmas of 2009. So with your help and your support, we'll get there. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Gerard. I have questions here that have been turned in, and we will launch into these now. If you have other questions that you'd like to get into the stack, just please get them to Rafaela, and we will respond to these. Or would you want to take a break, or what's your pleasure at this point?
Very good, thank you. Mr. Chair, Chairman Perrella, if I could. I think it was a very lengthy presentation. I think it was very, very informative, but I think also at the same time, it's going to take us a lot of time to write out our questions and for them to go through it. I don't see any reason why we cannot come up here, ask our questions, fire back an answer, and still fill out the form for their records. I think it's safe to say they would like to have this for their record so they'll be able to have accountability to it and get back to it. That's fine. I can appreciate that. But I'm looking at time. I'm looking at a time factor here. I'm looking at trying to get as many questions as we can before we leave for the night. Thank you.
That's an excellent point. Let's do this, guys. There have been a number of cards that have been turned in. He'll go through the cards as quickly as possible. Or any more questions, if it's okay with you? If they want to.
Sure.
But you please fill out a card with what your questions are, because they do want a record. And
if I may, can I just ask a quick question from the microphone? I appreciate it.
Okay.
It's a real simple question. I'll fill out a card afterwards, and they'll have it for the record. I just want to know, when did the County of Ventura or the Watershed Protection Agency inform the City of Oxnard of the situation in regards to the levy and FEMA? And did the correspondence take place by email, or was it done by mail? How was it corresponded? But more importantly, when was the City of Oxnard informed of this particular situation? Was it last month? Was it 2 months ago? 3 months ago? Thank you.
That was one of the questions that was asked in the stack here, and I don't have the information specifically. Do you have any information that you can add to that as far as?
In November of 2007, we met with representatives from all of the cities affected by the levy certification. We had various representatives from various cities, public works folks mostly, but in some cases there were representatives from development services, city manager, floodplain managers, and what have you. We then, during the course of that presentation, alerted them to the fact that we were going to the Board of Supervisors on December 4th of 2007, where we presented what this meant to the County of Ventura, and particularly the Watershed Protection District, which is the owner of the levees. And there were some representatives of the cities in attendance at that board meeting. I don't remember precisely who, but that was the case. And then there were meetings that the district with FEMA between December of 2007 and most recently the April 2009 date, where FEMA and the district and city representatives discussed the impact of this program on the levees, particularly affecting their cities. And each city manager, along with a county executive officer, in November signed letters about the respective levies.
Thank you very much.
Okay, very good. In order to be about this topic just now? Okay. Sergio Vargas, who's a deputy director in charge of our planning, advanced planning section, is going to address this. And then I'm going to go through these questions quickly. we have perhaps a more detailed information then the question can be handled at the point. And if that's the case, we will get back to you with a written response. But go ahead, Sergio.
Yes, thank you. Again, the city of Oxnard has been very much engaged with FEMA and the Watershed Protection District in this effort. Now, we have to remember that there are several processes taking place at the same time. Just like Tom Legier and Gerard Kapusik indicated, we have the effort of levy certification going on. We have the effort of the digital flood insurance rate map, who is going to greatly affect everyone. And we also, lastly, have the effort of the flood insurance study for Santa Clara River. 3 efforts going at the same time, different timelines, but all affecting the same communities. So just to emphasize that the city has been engaged with Watershed Protection District, the FEMA Region 9, conducting these efforts. In November 2008 is when FEMA proposed the specific changes that really significantly affected the city of Oxnard in terms of adding significant areas to the floodplain. And there was significant effort from all the communities, including City of Oxnard, Santa Paula, City of Fillmore, to try and work with FEMA so that FEMA could use reasonable information to make determination of those areas affected. So the answer to that question is that we have been working very, very closely with FEMA, and since November of 2008, the City of Oxnard, in coordination with the Watershed Protection District, has worked with FEMA to reduce the areas of impact. Like it was indicated before, originally there were over 4,000 properties identified in the floodplain. Through the efforts of the City of Oxnard, who has been very proactive about that, was reduced to about 2,000 properties.
All right, thank you, Sergio. And as you can see, some of these questions seem like they should have simple answers, but when you get into the details, they get involved. I'm going to go through these quickly, and now I have my expert. Sergio, you just heard from Gerard, who is also going to, and I will address these, and I expect these gentlemen to chime in and help me out here if I get a field or if it needs more elucidation, but we'll try and keep this short. First question, when was the SCR1 levee built? I believe it was built by the Corps of Engineers about 40 years ago, and that has been in place about that time, right? When will SCR3 levee be built? That's a process that has yet to be determined. We are in process right now of identifying, as Gerard mentioned, we're going to hire next month, hire the technical expert to help us figure all that out. And I would guess, my personal guess is that within a year to 18 months, we'll have the plans and specs and the final solution all in place and ready to go. The question is going to be, will we have the money? The money is going to be the determining factor of when this thing will be completed. So if we are successful in getting money, we may be in a timeline here that says in 3 years we'll have this thing fixed. But it's going to hinge on money, and that's going to take some political clout to help achieve that. From the standpoint, the district has gone on record with the city that we will provide the design. We are going to, as we mentioned here, we're going to pony up about $1 million for the analysis of this system and get the design ready to go with plans and specs. But when it comes to construction, it's beyond our capability or our resources. And it's also beyond the city. So we're going to have to work together, and we're going to have to look for some political help to get it, some federal help possibly into this also. How about dredging the river bottom? That is a question that I think some of us would like to see maybe considered, but it's an environmental thing. It's very tough to work in the river. All of the clearances that we have to go through for the fish and game and the NOAA fisheries and all of these people that have vested interest in the fish and critters and the plants growing in there, they make life very difficult for us to work in the rivers anymore. And that has a big impact on us.